coin, and it landed on a goated match.
We set our sights here onto Split. As you've already mentioned, very good map for both of these teams. It's going to be mind games on mind games, I'm sure, as we get deeper and deeper into the series. I mean, we attribute a lot of the strengths of both of these squads down to their retakes, the fundamentals. Maybe we might see that being picked apart.
KC looking to see if there's any aggression at mid here. Sentinels, you can see just from their pistol round buy, they're not planning to go for an aggressive pistol strat. Zekken did not buy the blast packs, go for the boom bot instead. Full utility on the Sky, looking to try and play a more defaulty pistol. Punish the aggression from KC, which may be happening in mid actually, as Thomasy took a little bit of damage.
Almost first blood going away. Sentinels here, just a bit of chip damage and away. Narrate spamming back and forth, exchanging with the bullets. No casualties. It is so slow going.
I was taking a look at Magnum and Martine, who were thinking about getting information over towards B Heaven, but they didn't actually spot that SEN are going for the walkout.
It's contacts on contacts, but a stack of KC. They've got the players here. Pull, triggered, Prowler through, along with the decoy. A lot of noise being made.
And the mid-round audible here now. 30 seconds left. SEN, we're going to accelerate into the A side, but they're worried in case it's some kind of a trap. Well, Zelsis goes for more info, punished, but that is finally going to make the call. Sassy gets the spike down, planted for Heaven.
Exactly so, and I'm going to be paying close attention to this.
I mean, this is where the Sentinels protocols have been immaculate in Americas, constantly stopping their opponents from taking Heaven control. Playing so well around that area, understanding what their opponents want to do.
Absolutely, make the same argument for Karmine Corps here. Paranoia being held and primed, ready and waiting. Was a flash to set that right up. Narrate will fall. Nade, unfortunate there, gets stuck into the wall. So no rebound for Zekken. The rest of now Karmine Corps willing to just try and take the fight straight through into Elbow. That's going to be some ground gained, but oh my, the bodies falling and toppling. Pistol round for Sentinels.
Lovely performance, really well played, highlighting the strengths of SEN right from the beginning there, which is that they understand how their opponents want to play on Split. There is a meta that's developed over the course of probably the last year or maybe a little more, which is plant for Heaven, try to retake Heaven control as the post planners, and the retakers are going to end up flooding often around that Heaven area. And SEN are so good at anticipating what their opponents want to do and stopping them.
Yeah.
You see how they sent that flash just to disrupt what was happening. The timings were all perfect.
I'm sure they can upset some of that one. A little bit in the weeds there. I mean, just catching on to one another with the bodies, but they're going to be granted a ramp control deep in the position.
And this does look like a round where both teams have opted for the opposite side of things. KC stacking 4 players over towards B main, hoping that things were going to come into them. And instead, Sentinels getting a very easy A side. There was a lot of talk, Brent, in Americas after Sentinels went on their fantastic run about whether this version of them playing Split was just the best in the world. And for me personally, it looks awesome, but you have to see it tested at an event like this and go up against other top teams, like KC, for example, before you can make claims like that.
This might be one of the biggest tests they've ever had. Karmine Corps still danger here, even though they are on an eco round. You never want to count this team out, especially with how drilled they are. Look at them. Playing together, piece together, but so are Sentinels, always side by side, not leaving any gaps, nothing to chance. So it will be nice and easy sailed round. Pushing the last one left, and time ticking away. We're going to be paying close attention as well if you want to talk about general matchups into this. I mean, on this map, we get an absolute treat, don't we? Narrate versus Zekken on the Razors with that head-to-head.
Yeah. I mean, what a head-to-head. That really is spectacular. And Tens has moved off the Yoru on bind, just unfortunately exactly aligned with when he could have gone up against Martine, as we were thinking of later on into the pool.
The roles might get funky. I mean, Narrate's playing all sorts. Flexing into the initiators.
But here we go. KC with rifles back online, and Sentinels with a great buy themselves. Zekken picks up the judge. He was talking about how much he was playing that on Split during his rank game since being in Madrid.
That was advice he gave me in Korea. He was like, if you're losing your rank games, just force the judge.
Well, we'll see how it works for him.
Getting in their faces. It was definitely working out the other day in their match versus Heretics. Trailblazer straight in the middle, up the gut through the side. Prowler knifed. Zekken, he's set up for success and even more. He's deep now. Fox in the pen. Looks like he wanted to try and overextend, but now here we go. An attempt to try and reclear into mid. Trip, Broken John might be in some trouble. Has to call for some backup and reinforcements. Fights happening all over the bloody place, yet still the movement is clean. Satchel there, Trip in his face, and the rate still wins that one out, but the side has been fully taken. Territory now for Sen. Chemical forced to slow it down now. Side by side, Narrate and Shin going to be holding hands through this one, but they've got a lot to chew through.
This one way that Shin's looking to pop, very difficult for the post planners to deal with. Celsius goes for a peek early on, trying to play Zekken in.
It's a bit of that information, yet close to Raptors, close to the corner. Narrate plucks him out. Now brings it to the 2v2 with an aid rebounding. Do they know? Did he expect it towards New Box? Half clearance! Celsius just a one-and-done. Shin! That is nasty! Nasty business, man. That's a 2v3, and you can start to see it. The signs are live here for Karmine Corp.
Yeah, that's a great work from both Shin and Narrate. But at the same time, a very expensive bonus round. Look at the economical difference here. Sen have so much more money to be able to work with. KC on the verge of not even being able to buy in this round. Great awareness though, really well cleared. All of these different angles. Very fast from Shin clearing out these two final players to trade Narrate too. So it's a big round and Magnum gets on his feet early. But things do not get any easier. Like I said, the economy's in a really rough spot right now for KC. They're coming into this next round with 2 Bulldogs and a Stinger.
Money is odd. Look quite weak. Martin going to be set up in a 4 position. Has the gate crash. Just to back out in case it's necessary. Sentinels opting for a much slower beginning. A bit of spam exchanged. Led hailing down on either side.
KC's retakes have been fantastic. Both of these teams look amazing on the split retakes. But Sentinels will try and force the fights before that's even a possibility.
Flash. Chance for the repeat nades. Gonna fly straight past each other. Zekken, he's already way further ahead than anticipated.
It's just so good. The way that he breaks the Prowlers whilst continuing to scale, whilst continuing to move forwards. He's done it with the knife and with the run and gun movement with the Phantom there. It just ruins what KC are going for.
Mechanical ability off the charts. Tomazi feeling the heat, turned up, sent out the Paranoia, but now backs away. Trying to play for the life. Giving up Heaven Control, gives up B as a result, but maybe I'll be able to just pick him apart from the side here. Is he going to get lucky with a few stray bullets? Not quite. Sassy. Minor bruises, basically. It's going to be that plant down now with 5 players up and kicking. Martin holding that flash out wide. Magnum not expecting it, not anticipating it. Showstopper now earned.
This is what I'm talking about. Sen forcing the fights before the retake can even happen. The swing timing there from Zekken was excellent. It shut this retake down before it could even begin. And KC were getting so many of these 4v5 round wins against FPX because FPX would, I mean, to be kind to them, throw it away. And Sen are just not going to do that. If they get up early, they have the discipline and the player strength to be able to close this out. They've been working on that since October. Both of these teams grinding away in separate regions. But I think one of the biggest things that we're seeing here that's allowed Zekken to get the entry both of these times is that he's just disrespecting the Prowlers. He knifed one of the Prowlers, got through and managed to get a kill with the Judge. And then this time,
just run straight past him.
Narrate thinks there that the Prowler's got a tag onto somebody, I think, or at least he's putting pressure on someone and giving him space to be able to swing. That is not the case. Zekken was so ready for that. He's 7-1 on a tag side split right now.
Dominating. Much like last night as well. I mean, Sentinels, talk about this team. Last one's out, first one's in. Haven't had much time to prepare for this one, but the form factor playing its part here. All the Sentinels players looking warmed up and ready. B main control. It's going to be the name of the game. So Sentinels are giving it basically for free, just the 1 snake bite in exchange for that one.
And most of this pressure has been coming through mid. This time, Zekken moves his way over towards B main. Tomaji might have gotten a spot there.
Oh, it's going to get explosive. Yeah, as soon as he spots that one, Paranoia. Good to send that one out, yeah. Actually fantastic, but still close to the corner. Ducks and weaves. How the hell is he getting that? On target, but to take it most likely. The nade rebounds, and Zekken, man, he's going to build himself up to another one.
That's unbelievable. And a snipes Martin up there, I believe it was, with the showstopper, and then also gets a nade kill too.
Unreal. And Sen, easy as it goes, isn't it? Look at that, they can pick and choose the targets. Who wants to get the plan, who wants to earn their ult next? Sassy, okay, you're up, keep the war machine chugging.
And that's the big thing, right? Once you start to get momentum like this was only a bit of an anti-eco round. KC still had 3 rifles, if you want to call the Bulldog a rifle as well, but it wasn't a full buy for them. SEN used a big ultimate, but they managed to get another one online too. So this ult cycle is now going to start to push forwards, and things only get more difficult trying to hold off Zekken when he has the Seekers to be able to entry behind too.
It's a vicious cycle.
And this is all before we get to see SEN playing on the defense side, where I think they've also looked spectacular. In fact, might have looked better if you were thinking about how you weigh up their attack versus defense side split.
Yeah, I mean, I would make that argument. Defense side, they have so many different looks on it. Now, Carmen Court, as we've already mentioned, haven't really had time to pick themselves back up after the series of losses. The economy has never really been honest at any of these points. Look at them working with classics there for Magnum. I mean, now you're going to see, hopefully, a bit better weaponry. I mean, it's half armor, a couple of rifles, still the Bulldog being kept for Magnum. Of course, we can see this.
Yeah, and another opportunity for Sentinels to mix some stuff up. Zekken, by the way, still 10-1. Still yet to be punished more than one time. He's dominating.
Absolutely frying.
And this looks like, once more, the pressure's going to come towards mid. And Martin and Magnum have been trying to get aggressive in this area. They just haven't found the opportunities.
Attempt to take an early fight there, but Carmen Core looking a little bit out of sync with the high-low, but Martin's been pushed forward, so they want to fight this.
I think Martin is just looking to catch Zekken as he powers his way up mid, trying to position himself into an unusual spot.
Getting really close, Trailblazer using the close corner. Martin wasn't stunned up there, actually. Catch him, but still the trade's there. Does Martin not have his gate crash? I'm not too sure.
But he did a lot of damage to Sassy. So there has still been damage done there, even though it was a 1-for-1 trade.
Call is made.
Yeah, this push through is an excellent idea from John Cutie. No Sentinel on the other side for KC means that these gaps do exist.
They're going to be aware of the ramp players, though. Seekers, they should be now used. Spam down and spray down, so Narrate gets both of them.
Are they aware how deep John and Tens are?
It seems like it. Look at that, Narrate watching for the avenue as a game of time is, but he is going to be granted one. No way! Walked straight into him, should have been a freebie, was not. Shin, he's got so much more to do now. Perfect paranoia, that's 10 setting his team up, but will there be anything to capitalize? It's him himself. He'll the one to follow through, man.
Absolute dismantling so far. In terms of the entry in terms of the lurk play there too, it looked like Narrate had it. His crosshair's in the right place, but I don't think he anticipated the timing being that quick. And this puts an enormous burden onto Magnum and Tamaji.
Running away with the early section of this half here. Horn sent wide. Paranoia only on the one. Zelsis holds it down, but as the instantaneous trade, Thomas, he does not expect that position. So it's 5-1. Sentinels really looking like just the mid-round calling. The ideas initially off the rip, even when KC seemed to get that minor advantage with the first kill, there's always that instant trade coming out.
No, they are absolutely crushing them right now in every department. These are the kind of banger matchups that when one team when you haven't had the opportunity to experience how the two clash and collide, you don't exactly know which way it's going to go.
No.
And when you see it play out like this, you're like, wow, this is spectacular, the way that SEN are just handling everything that KC are throwing at them. But I also feel like KC are not actually being able to define the tempo at any point in these rounds. Maybe this, and an eco round where they can take more risks, could be the one.
This is the time to do it. Peeking wide, Shin will respect it now. Shows presence though, so SEN are going to be wanting to re-clear B main just in case.
This Astra smoke does make it a little difficult to do that though. Especially when Zelsis has the pit online, which he's going to want for a post-plant situation probably. If things get dangerous, perhaps he could save it for a rifle.
Abundance of caution from Sentinels here, up against that weaker buy, for good reason.
Haunt thrown over towards A right now, so Carmen Core start to stack B. It didn't see anybody. Sassy might decide to try to use some Sky Util to pull people back away from the B site before this pop happens. But also that means that there won't be initiator utility with the site hit.
Narrate's running away, no, going back to heaven. Close corner, flash, Martin collects.
That's a great punish, it gives them the kill and it tells them to keep stacking B.
Here we go, Util being forced out of them with Paranoia going flying. The pull on top of it, Tens cannot get through. In fact, spam down to just single digits of HP. There's 20 seconds left. Narrate's still there with the rocket in his back pocket. It's going to be pretty monstrous here. Pit just to get themselves out. 14 seconds left. Time becoming an issue up top. Second, but Narrate 2 for 2 on the way. Carmen Core full control. And no more chances here. No more chances at all for SEN. That's the danger when you take it slowly. That abundance of caution that I was talking about prior. Doesn't matter if you're playing against the half-buy. When you take your time like that, these teams are going to punish you.
I think the big play, I mean, I can't believe, by the way, that Zekken, even in a round where they lose, is pulling out that kind of stuff. But yeah, that is the combo of the ultimate there too, the Yoru ultimate, so that you can spam into the pit, the Raze ult that comes through locking up the round. But the pick that Martin got onto Sassy told them exactly what the play was. And that's what they've been missing the entire time. They've never been able to read what's happening, and even if they got the read, Zekken bowled them over.
Karmakor back into it. More than happy with it. Celsius ended up using a cry here.
That one way is a little difficult.
Hello. Disrespect from Zekken. It's not for the util.
And he's one away from getting his ult online. How passive these positions are from Narrate and Magnum. Really far back in spawn.
Martin expecting player to walk right past the back wall there, holding his crosshair for it, but SEN have got different ideas. With ramp control game by John QT, he's lurked himself up there, caught that timing, so with that cleared, the rest of his team now regroups and meets him from mid.
Shin is looking very isolated on the A site. Narrate's trying to get into a position where he could help him. Now gets smoked off. That's going to be a danger signal. Alarm bells ringing.
Yep, TenZ ult does this a lot to just try and gather that information.
They're going the other way.
Like what he sees, yeah, going in the opposite direction. Players still ready here to meet them. Close to the corner. Martin has to do more than that, but he still gets the one kill for him. And B main control is there with Thomas. He smokes himself off now, pouring into the side of Sentinels. 20 seconds left. Nightfall, paranoia near sighted. Spike, drop down. Carmen Core rapidly approaching the position. And there's no way for SEN to bail themselves out. That is Carmen Core again in complete control.
Another lovely round there. Finding out what's going on with that constant control of B main. So this time, Celsius not deciding to re-clear that area of the map gave KC good info. Now, they could have been miles away from the play. If they decided to commit A there into Shin and Narrate, who was not, in screens, then that round could have been very successful for SEN. They decided to pivot in the opposite direction and ended up falling straight into that crossfire from Tamaji and Martin. Zekken ult online though to try and get things back in the hands of Sentinels. I feel like Carmen Core have had their most success actually by trying to play for the late round information and the late round picks rather than forcing the fight early on where, we saw Narrate and Martin getting punished in those earlier rounds.
It's almost like a stalemate just being drawn initially. Exchange that util, waiting for it out. Thomasy is going to be in trouble here, potentially. Forwards now with the ult flash into the corner. Rocket rebounds, there's no kill there. Thomasy's already repositioned. Spray by TenZ. Wrangles the beast and eventually takes out Narrate, but the evacuation was successful, so Thomasy is alive. And now he's going to be setting his house back up with the orb up. He's got a free walkout into the site, wraps back to the pillar, sees potential connection. Players are weak, and this is an interesting one. It's an unusual one. Neural theft gives them an idea of where these players might be. The positioning's now highlighted, pointed out, 40 seconds left, but they don't have heaven control. No real way to play this one and fight this. Doubled up together, the double swing is called! Celsius finds two, flash through, Martin lucky for that one. Straight bullet, just going wide, but it finds the target. And a necessary one at that with 25 seconds left.
25 seconds, TenZ is going round the world. He's got his knife out trying to make this play happen, but Martin's already read it. They know there's no noise being made here. Someone must be going for a flank. He's missed the angle.
Tap. Sassy trying to push the players and pull them away. They're looking the wrong way. Shin up top. Oh my. The minor moments making a difference there. Tiniest of differences.
A comedy or a tragedy, depending on which side of the equation you're on. But that round came down to, as you said, the smallest things. Martin was so aware that a flank was coming through. He just believed that he could spot the head. And then the tap is beautifully timed from Sassy to pull attention away. TenZ had no idea where Shin was.
No idea.
Just didn't clear rafters. And now KC have won 3 rounds in a row to get themselves back into this. It looked dominant for Sentinels, but they have lost their grip on this map so far. Oh, here we go, the paranoia play.
Yeah, Dimensional Drift sets it up as well, pings out a multitude of targets. Martin.
Too many.
Exited out, yeah.
Far too many for Martin to deal with.
And I guess John QT is just playing anti.
That is such a nice play. And Sentinels have destroyed it. A lovely set play from Karmine Corp. Looked fantastic when they ran it in EMEA, but with 3 players there from Martin, bit off a little more than he could chew. And Ten's got the punish. So this does look like now a round where Sentinels should be massively favored. Magnum's positioning is the one that I'm looking at, down mid. Wondering if he could get some kind of flank timing to turn this round. But it does look very much like Sentinels should be favored.
Should be, right, narrates down already onto the floor. He's caught the back head of Zekken.
And nobody in behind to try to get the trade.
Follow up spray. Magnum almost there with it. Nasty, nasty stuff.
So
3
much
players
danger.
Moving, pivoting. 40 seconds left. Making their way over towards mid, but they're making all the noise in the world. So Narrate is hot on their heels. He's right behind them. He's making a call for it.
But he can't afford to make noise, so he's got to travel more slowly. And that's allowed Sentinels the timing to be able to get into the site. Surely somebody is going to be watching for this.
Spike planted.
Surely, right, but doubled up.
Now this is where the Astral could be useful. Not going to be comboed, obviously, with Martins.
It's all about this crossfire setup. First point of contact, close to hell. It's John QT. Boombot will clear him.
And actually,
feels his position up top. Celsius takes the fight.
Oh, it was all trying to distract as well for Shin to get this timing. And now I fear it is simply too late.
He realizes it, not even going for it, despite the money. Obviously 2 of his players still basically brought down to 0, but you can feel the tension, man. I mean, how back and forth these 2 teams are, so closely matched.
It is gutting, though, for Karmine Corp. When you've been having a lot of success, letting the rounds tick down and playing for kind of late round advantages, and you decide, right, we've won 3 in a row, let's change stuff up and go for an aggressive play at the beginning. And that's just Martin not quite realizing that one of the players wasn't caught by the paranoia. Even if they all had been, there might still have been a bit too much there for him to deal with. But Eng is now going to call a timeout. We're headed into a tactical pause for Karmine Corp. Like I said, they tried to adjust the tempo there, but I feel like everything they've been doing in the early round, Sen have had the advantage. But it is so difficult to play patiently if indeed they can win out against the old guard, of which Sen, frankly, are kind of representing the old guard here. Sassy, Zelsis, Tens, all been to very many of these Masters events, or ones that happened a long time ago.
Karmine Corp, young and spry, looking to try and take a big scalp early, but got to offset this disadvantage in the rounds. A flash repeat through, stun, a little bit too late. Martin rips the head clean off Zekken's shoulders.
And they decide to fight that.
Way.
I mean, a massive fight there, comboing the Prowlers with the Boombot, so they have even more utility to try to stop Zekken from entering. That's the first time they've actually blunted the tip of the spear.
Flash connects, second one used now, Sassy, no more left available to him, sees.
That is a big seize.
Does connect, yeah. Stops him in his tracks for just a moment. Smoke, finally. Props up, divides up the site. That's going to be putting the fear of God into them, I think. Thomasy just setting that one down, but they realize backside is going to be cleared. Planting a default spot. What's the call now for Sentinels? An aggressive play into the spawn. Paranoia, oh my, it's almost perfect. Thomasy though, he's got the escape. Planned down at the back of his head, just a TP away, having control, not giving up at all. TP, heard by Tens, breaks it. No funny business allowed. The rate already in, leading the charge and through the back, twisting and turning. Tens is brought back up, but it's a 1v3. And now he's got to weave and dodge and juke. Diffuse being stuck by Shin, half on it already. Too much to deal with, surely it is.
Looked impressive there, that spray control. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried for a moment. But Shin had it under control, and frankly, the numbers just a little too much there for Tens to deal with. What a retake from KC. That's probably the first one where we've seen them have a proper execute on that. They really nicely come out of this timeout with 2 big plans. One, to stop the early round aggression, in the way that Zekken was dominating them in those first 6 rounds. And the other to be able to set up a clean B retake there. Cosmic Divide, the flash through with the double blast pack, perfection. They have a chance to be able to tie this up at the half.
Wouldn't that be something after that blistering pace the SEN have just come out the gates with? But almost equalized.
And with a major tool in their back pocket with regards to Narrate's ultimate. We've seen Sentinels run some of these slow rounds. And in fact, it was a bit of an eco when Narrate used his showstopper before to be able to get success.
Presence, prior conditioning by SEN here. Usually there's a player following up, usually Zekin with the Trailblazer.
This time though, the Prowler not catching onto anybody until it hits Sassy. So I think they can be fairly sure that that isn't where Zekin's going for. Martin!
Wow.
He tries to go for the info peak, punished.
I know exactly.
Boombot to set it up here. Neural theft as well, so info gathered. Now notice anchoring spot, but what do they choose to commit into? A call again made to just contact through.
You do not want to give a timing here for Narrate to pop his ult.
There.
That's what it comes down to. Nade rebounding. Satchel's now in towards the back of the side. Shin! Nasty! Anchoring position! And that's 3 in a round. Rocket might not even be necessary. Narrate. Fuse running out, doesn't know where to fire it. Pre-fire into the corner. That is ridiculous. And now just tens. Last alive. Disconnecting, snapping the cord and the tether. The C's not there with a paranoia. Blind as a bat. 6-2-6 for Carmen Core. What a return to equalize.
Incredible comeback, powered by an excellent timeout as well taken. Both of the Smokes players, I say both, I suppose Thomas, she's also playing Smokes, but Shin and Tens up towards the top of the scoreboard. And Shin with a perfect cap put on the end of that.
Absolutely impeccable stuff from the anchoring position. Now earlier we heard from the Rate, a little bit before this match as well, heading into things. Let's see what he had to say.
Does Carmen Core offer them the opportunities? Are they able to get advantages early on? What does this half look like?
Familiar scenes from the previous half of how slow going it was just off the rip.
All of this is all just a fake to allow Carmen Core's players to mostly try to take space on A.
It's pulled it forwards. I mean, you've got 4 players of Sentinels looking for a reclear fight through the smoke as well, setting up for the flash. Through, and the timing gone away. Even as it goes, 2 for 2 here. Carmen Core, in the meantime, walking away through, going to be hearing them on the ropes, so now the sound cues betraying them.
John deciding whether or not to swing, tried to find a timing, didn't quite manage it. Tens still with paranoia, so they still have flash nade to be able to put pressure on these elbow players. Martin, though, is very far away. Do they anticipate this?
Miles away. Could be exactly what they needed. Trip wasn't broken. They're walking all the way in again. Tens opens himself up, just showing himself at the back. Nade rebounds. Paranoia now. Kind of connection if there is going to be any sort of follow-up from behind.
Oh,
Martin
no
has already caught them. And it's all up to John. Low enough, dodges the flash, expecting and anticipating, but now 2 players to deal with. The reposition is immaculate from the Rate. And with a pistol round under their belt, they're going to be more than happy with it.
Yeah, great attempt there from Carmen Core. I think they looked coordinated as a team. You could see that they had a clear game plan going into it. That got disrupted a little bit by the camera. Their team was thinking about calling the audible and going to punish the players in mid. They decided, no, let's just commit to site, play a post plant, where Martin's positioning, even though he was tripped off, ended up being really important.
Let's go!
That pistol means so much. You were tied 6-6. You've taken the lead for, I think, the first time in this map.
Feeling of control returning a little bit for Carmen Core. Too used to being on the back foot. Hasn't happened too much, really.
No, and it's another one of these rounds where we're just seeing both teams rotate around away from each other.
Narrate's hunting. Yeah, he's hunting. You can smell the blood in the water. Backing down, wants a little bit more as well. Just some stray warning shots popped off.
It would be a major ultimate to try to get up.
That's part of the reason why he's playing so aggressive.
And I think the other reason is both of these teams want to play disruptive against the other team's retakes. You see them on paper, both of these teams have ridiculous retake win percentages, especially on split. So trying to play aggressive and catch timings in the post plant, one of the best ways to disrupt that.
Hello.
That's an anticipation from John Cutie, though.
Expecting it. Surely no danger, though, in the round.
I don't believe so. I think these players are just going to look to die to spike. They do not want to start the ult cycle going for KC. It's disciplined. It's a good call.
Yeah. Not enough time there. Everybody going down.
Martin did actually manage to pick up a kill, but he was nowhere near getting the ult online. So this is going to be a pretty dry bonus round with some good weaponry, but no danger particularly coming from the ultimate side of things. We've seen KC not really rely on too many of their set play ideas here. They threw kind of two, I suppose, the B retake, and then that aggression with the Euro ultimate and the paranoia. But on their attack side, we could still see a lot of new stuff that KC have cooked up for Masters Madrid.
KC being one of the more creative teams that we've got at this event, really innovating in terms of just the compositions, even ways to counter-strat. Looking up through there with a flash prowler. Right through the snake bite. They do not care, and Tens just taking a peek there from heaven. Punished. Celsius spotted. Boombot lucky. He gets away, hightailing it, but guess what? Right behind him is Narrate.
Sentinels are trying to apply pressure with these peaks in B heaven. The first one got punished. Zelsis also looking for information, seeing if he can catch somebody. It's a little worrying here if John Cuthie gets pushed away, but Shin almost taking the fight.
There it is. Walking right into it. Good crosshair placement from Zelsis, and he recognizes it as a threat coming from behind. Satchel through! John! What is that? QT quality tactics. This man just hitting nasty shots. C's avoided. Narrowly now, but two players left to stand here for Carmen Court. Spike in their possession.
Look at this flank. This is really nice from Zekken and Sassy. It's going to be unexpected.
30 seconds left.
Magnum's stuck in the middle of the map. He doesn't know where to go here. They only have 25 seconds.
Wondering about 20
John's
seconds.
read it.
This fight is so important.
Unbelievable.
He wins that. 4 HP and a dream.
And now look how far away they are.
They are miles away, but they know it. It's going to be planted towards B so they can get a jog on and get a move on.
Oh, we missed it.
Magnum, he missed it. Has to stick it again for the plant. Luckily, time to spare. Horn thrown. But that's a critical mistake, honestly. He might not have time now to reposition. Backing to the pillar. Fast through Satchel in the back. And that's just good comms. Knowing that Magnum was that low, all adds up for Zekken to just run him down with a classic.
Very well done. I'm amazed, frankly, that John was able to get both of those kills. It did look a little off from KC. As Narrate went for that blast pack peak, where was the second player? The spacing, not quite there. Now, John's aim, fantastic. And the spray control, too, to be able to pick up the second is ridiculous. But KC are going to need to have super tight play if they want to be able to keep this advantage.
Crowd building up. Barrier's going to be dropping. Carmine Core fully grouped up as 5. By around 4 with a Haunt and a TP, so.
Face your fear!
Gain control, Nightfall, scatters. Going wide, Sassy. There is danger here for him. He's tucked in a very forward position.
He's dead.
Follow-up, yeah, he can't see or hear. Bloody thing. Narrate already into the back of the site. Magnum now with the plant. And Narrate wants to go hunting for a little bit more this time, aware of it. Both of these teams trying to disrupt that retake potential, and it's only just equalized it now 4-2-4. How does this get played? Into the post plant, players close up, into the position still with the paranoia available. Flash through, now the paranoia, it's there, spraying forwards, gate crash wide, damage done to Martin, but he still survives. Alive and kicking into the back of the side is Magnum, tucking, dodging, weaving, Tens forwards. This is relentless by SEN.
Really lovely play. Relying on that individual ability that's coming out from Tens and Zekken. They've been tearing apart the KC players in terms of duels taken. And you see the difference in style there. Really solid awareness to be able to punish Narrate, who went for that same piece of aggression. Something now that SEN are expecting. But in terms of just also the duels won, I mean, Tens is swinging. Not completely alone, but certainly going to try to take the 1v1s. And they're winning them. So now the score is 8-8, but the economic advantage in favor of SEN. KC can't buy. SEN have ults. Prime to take the lead back.
Closely matched. Such a high degree between these two teams here. Satchel.
Zelsis got spotted by the Prowler.
Yep, spotted, Haunt, cleared. He needs some help here. Decoy forwards. Showstopper relieved from Zekken. That was just to try and spot that one player. He's got a timing. He's right past him. Ships in the night. All the way through. Shin wins it out, but still the follow-up there from Tens. Hopping across the box. This man is just hunting them down.
And if that fight in mid had gone slightly better, Narrate's timing might have been worth something. But now stuck in a 1v4, they have the timing to be able to go and look for him. And they pick it up. Sentinels deal with that. It was scrappy, but they came out to the good in mid. That was absolute chaos, but I'll tell you what, Zekken and TenZ look amazing in those spots. When things get really messy. Look at TenZ here. The way that he plays around all of the smokes and decides to go in aggro, he just looks really aware and quick in these moments. And now he's going to pick up the operator. We saw some unbelievable rounds.
I mean, some silly rounds.
One in particular.
Oh, yeah.
And here we go, fast up mid for KC.
Narrate! He's punished! Oh, he's a big player for Karmine Corp, especially when he had the rocket available, but he's taken out early. Haunt broken.
The molly was
their position.
The molly was amazing from Zelsis. He caught a little bit, I believe, of vulnerable onto Narrate, so that he only needed half the spam to be able to take him down. Great punish. I mean, the decision making to do that so quickly and land it and not get caught with utility in your hands. Very sharp. Pressure back on KC.
Yeah. Silence settling in, isn't it? Karmine Corp don't really have that advantage. Maybe just hoping to fake some presence with Marty on the other side of the site, but the jiggle is good from Sassy. He gets that information now. Gets himself back. Sentinel's not really biting that one. Already to full rotation. Coming through. But time to spare for Karmine Corp. They fake and switch and pivot.
And Martin has been continuing to put a little bit of pressure onto John Cudy's setup. He knows that there's a Cypher playing here. He knows where this trip is too. His clone caught it. Didn't break it, of course. But he hasn't made too much noise up here.
As we divide. Feels like B now, but breaking the trips as well. It's all over the place. Zelsis just takes a peek, take a gander. Zekken, is your turn to shine. Swings out wide. There's that operator. Hello! What a surprise. 12 seconds left. There is no way in hell Martin has any chance in this round now. Just got to give it up. Waiting at the sidelines now, and the team going to be simmering.
Economy crushed. This is where SEN are starting to pull away. And it's not based on the retake stuff. It's based on punishing, again, that level of aggression from KC. And they did win one of the previous important rifle rounds by going for a slower paced retake, stopping Narrate from getting inside that smoke. But these rounds, they've just shut Karmine Corp here. Have some ultimates that might end up making the difference. Martin could get the Dimensional Drift online this round and cook something really interesting up. We're not counting Karmine Corp out by any means, but SEN are favored here. And look, Zekken with the op.
Yep. Adjusting. Nails a shot straight into Narrate. Backing away here with a paranoia. Has to respect it. TP through into the back of the site. Karmine Corp going to be given this one. What's the call now? Grouped up. Looks like it. Ready to try and take this fight. Shorty. Close. Flash. Satchel. Great movement. Zekken is blinded up entirely there. Couldn't see a bloody thing. And I also have another go of it! What a snap! And what an adjustment! A rifle for your troubles. And now the fight taken straight to them! They can't withstand it. This kind of pressure is way too much. And even Shin spotted out. Poor Shin.
That is an amazing round from Zekken. And the setup from the rest of his team there too. TenZ throws a paranoia through for him to be able to blast back onto them. Insane value from the blast backs. He's full blind when he decides to use the one to disengage.
Get the hell out of here.
And then goes back in with the shorty. And that's following up on that blind.
Punishing the aggression, the game plans of Karmine Corp. Picked apart, plucked apart, the threads are unraveling.
And this round, it's a must-win for KC. Rifles, ults, they have it all.
Now's the time to offload all of them. Gotta get your head back in the game. Gotta try and stand a chance. But we're big enough SEN's defensive sides here. Flash connects, giving that information forwards. Dimensional Drift gonna be clearing out that site, so it gives Karmine Corp the go-ahead. They know it's now fully cleared out. Straight bullet. Sassy's a kill trip. Set that one up. Rocket forwards. Everybody narrowly avoiding, just dodging away from it. Fuse running out. Zekken.
Damage.
Big damage. Sassy though, he's regrouped and refound that angle. TP broken. No gate crash for you, but still Shins in the back lines here. Flash re-peek of Martin seeking to do some damage and take some risks, potentially tear away a couple of these players because they are disadvantaged. And this is SEN looking all the way now, set up for that 12th round. It's going to have to be hero moments. It's going to have to be individuals putting up big performances. Another flash. It's perfection. It clears them out in the open. One player left to stand. It's Shin.
It's just not possible, man. There's just absolutely no way he can hold on. The Sentinels retake utility there was perfect. There is no other word to describe it. They put pressure over towards ramp, grab a kill. They back off. They dog out through heaven. They have this kill trip to be able to set up at the start too. They then have another paranoia to layer on top of it. As they blast back into elbow, that catches onto Martin. So many waves of things. And KC's post-plant aggression cannot find any timing. They can't disrupt it, can't stop it. The war train keeps on going. 6 rounds in a row have taken SEN from losing to map point.
It's all in from Carmine Court. This is it. Showing her hands a little bit early, forcing out the nade second. The timing through the wall, Paladin spots him! And the raid's finished! Run and gun! Drive-by going wide, anger in position of Sassy. There's safety in numbers, and numbers are arriving! But he doesn't need them! Sassy! This man's in a class of his own when he's really on fire. And once more, poor Shin. Left alone for the things, but that is Sentinels leading the charge and leading this series.
What outrageous dominance. This round coming out here, especially from KC. Anytime you see the Killjoy player on defense not buying utility and just going straight for the Sheriff, you're expecting something a bit pacey. KC trying to take tempo right at the beginning of this round. Walking up with the paranoia prepped, trying to take the fight to SEN.
Horns. No signs of life, John.
Oh, the timing there. Yeah. If that had been a tad earlier, KC probably would have stayed to try to take the fight. But now they're anticipating that John's calling a reaction. And they've read it correctly. The desk was talking a lot about mobility, Brendan. I feel like that's going to be key on both of these attack sides. I think with mobility comes confidence. You have to be confident to be able to make that play. Trust the call, take the swing. And so far, that's been one big area where SEN are looking better.
Has been missing a little bit for Carmine Court. Maybe a symptom of, as we already mentioned, a new guard versus the old guard. Sentinels have got some experienced players. So do Carmine Court, don't get me wrong. Magnum himself was shut down his hopes and dreams in the Reykjavik 2021 Grand Finals by TenZ himself. So now we see it, a bit of an explosion. The pivot here over towards B. Open sight line at rate. Ooh, chunk load of damage. Has to back away and respect the nade now.
And that's their star player.
Spike planted.
There's no heals online as well. No chances there for him to get top back up. Contact called by Carmine Court right behind them. That's 3 players looking to set their sights on the link. Distraction plays with the Prowler, peeking. Sassy is out wide. Probably too much in terms of the connection. Zakan taking the time here to reposition up towards heaven. What a call made. Still nearsighted, blinded up, but narrate. He will fall. That prior damage done. Clearing him out into the site. It's getting dangerous. It's getting dicey. A little bit all over the place here. Damage just wandering right into him. Zelsis definitely doing it here with the players tickling down the wide face of Zelsis. There's no time left whatsoever for Carmine Court. The struggles here, the opening.
And again, look at how mobile Sentinels are in these post-plant situations. They got into an uncomfortable spot, and immediately Zekan calls to push heaven. TenZ smokes it. It's a weird smoke, one that they can dominate, not your standard smoke. They get inside of it very quickly and set up the duo that dominated on split to be able to win the post-plant and secure a pistol. So neutralizing that early round aggression, playing a dynamic post-plant that looked superb. You can only go for those plays if you're feeling really confident and very in sync with your teammates. I think that's been a clear difference today for SEN, and one to keep an eye on. I don't actually think that Martin can swing through this gap between the turret and the wall.
He can jump it.
Can he squeeze his little legs through?
Yeah, he's through, he's past it, but
and he's dead.
Is watching, yeah. Very aware of it. Now the door opens wide, so this is SEN's protocol to clear through C. Oh my, okay, could have got dangerous. It's all good though. Nade. Thomasy out wide. Take your pick. Do you die to the nade or do you die to us? And now just Shin left standing. I feel like I've been saying that quite a bit, but it is the eco round and early days yet for Loaders. Still, 2 in a row now for Sen. They got the expected one with 4 players surviving.
We're expecting this to be a pretty attack-sided map.
Can I get a drop?
Sentinels versus Heretics, that's exactly what we saw. Right, Heretics got up to a really big lead. I think it was an 8-4 half, something like that. And Sen were able to bring it back. Incredible attack sides, and both of these teams have been good in that situation.
Stay focused.
So it's not over for KC if they can't build some momentum here in the first half, but it is going to be very difficult for morale, for the way that they approach the map, for their confidence.
Well, pushing through with a Prowler. Next wave of util here. Paranoia and a Satchel. Only grants some access to B main. The rest of the map not really being played. In fact, Carmen Core are ones that have taken a few liberties out towards A rubble. John hoping to spot it out with the jump spots, but there's a lot to account for. Here's the jump spot. Yeah. Wow. John not even really aware of the fact that they could have walked all the way back up there. So first kill. In that direction. Similar scenes for Sentinels here, just to try and clear through the front section of C Mound.
Meanwhile, how deep Tens is.
I mean, he's going walkabouts.
He could win this round for them despite being down 4v5.
Behind them, they don't seem to be aware of this at all.
Not even slightly.
There's been a gap in the defensive protocols. A need to force these players out wide. The damage being done to them. The rate looking to the side. TP.
He missed the teleport.
Missed the TP. Shin! He catches him. Judge in the face. Second. To trade by every part of the definition. Prowler forwards, jumping. Damage. The shot's going wide. Second. There's no way he's getting away with that.
I love the attempt, though. I really respect it. It felt like there was serious danger in that round. The timing that Tens found was extraordinary, and I think possibly one of the reasons why John got a misread on what was the defensive setup looked like and just ended up dying. That's the unfortunate play, though. 2 of the players both got seized there towards the back of the site. Shin and Narrate, and Tens, he just missed it. You can see the frustration there. I mean, he was absolutely dominant map 1, so he expects to be able to win those.
He's back up on either side. This time Carmen Core more keen to fight over C-Man. Look at it setting up with the Paranoia and a few players.
Trying to deny the ult orbs on both sides of the map.
Good plan, but well, Magnum's just out wide like that. There's no return of fire from Thomas. He can't take the fight and stand his ground, not with the Odin.
Oh, he's going to try and get in behind the showstopper engage here, instead of being a vulnerable victim on site.
Could be the danger zone still. Showstopper, Thomasy can't hit it. Spraying through near sighted with the Prowler. Second Forcer just fired a rocket blindly. But 2 players down now for Carmen Core. Do you really still choose to take this one, or do you choose to take the save? They're looking, hoping for a bit more. That's an odd one. Bouncing off the tile or something, but the orb still does the job. Cuts off that one sight line, and now it has to be the call, surely.
I think you got to save here.
Yeah, you have to. They look like they're still sticking around there. They want to make a go of it.
The economy on Shin and Thomasy is just not good enough to be able to go for this one, I don't think.
No. Now they're backing away.
And that's a huge win for Sen here. Sen, by the way, getting into their very standard post-plant setups where they have Zekken up top. So they often tuck somebody in towards the box. They have a one-way smoke as well. And you can see here, that really is the crucial duel when Sassy is able to get that pick onto Thomasy.
Oh, yeah.
That's the real one that matters.
It's astounding as well. I mean, the consistency with Zekken frying just builds up these ults like it's nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could see that the clear game plan there from KC was, we're going to fight over ult orbs on both sides of the map. So they had a triple player over towards C, fighting very heavy for mount control, because that's where they expect Sen to start the round. And then they had a crossfire setup, but it just ended up with Magnum kind of wandering around in the open. He missed the timing, didn't tuck, couldn't play the cross with Thomasy properly. Ended up giving away his life a little too freely. And Zekken has started this map, much as he started the other one, dominating.
Just rolling. No fight to contest over the A rubble control. Sentinel's happy to concede it. So Carmen Core going to just place Shin into that forward angle. He's going to be getting a lot of mid-round information for his team. Lots of juicy tidbits that Magnum could use for some potential calls.
These are the situations on defense where it's so difficult to get a read on where the attacking team is going to end, especially if they have a really competent IGL like John Cutie. So this is going to be a lineup to try to clear out Shin if he was playing behind Rubble or on top of it. But Shin is playing that jump spot angle a little further forwards. So he's not really going to get caught by this.
Might even get value.
I mean, he's in a very exposed spot.
Really pressing forwards, now has to respect it. I mean, he was just trying to get ahead of the wall, so they couldn't lurk out, but now backing away. A few stray shots.
And this is where KC start to lack information. 45 seconds. They know that Sen might be pressuring A, but are they really there? Is it a fake commitment?
Crossfire. Not even quite. I mean, Martin's just trying to play, weaving in and out of this wall, see if he can get that time with the door.
It looks like a fake. I mean, Martin's seen that there's nobody really pushing off the back of this.
Yeah, it's not really going to be calling as well for the rotations here. Paranoia forwards. Martin can't do the same moves as Zekken was doing, not in that last map. Can't get out of it with the satchels.
Is this going to end B? Straight into Shin!
Shin! Could have been a difference maker, might still be. With only 12 seconds left, they've really just got to get a move on into the site B. Plant, Magnum, forwards, pressing, forwards! The players, they're dropping all over the place. The time pressure maybe just getting to them, nerves getting frantic for Karmine Corp.
Those are the kind of confidence moments that I'm talking about, where it feels like Sen are very strong in those kind of spots. You see Zekken or Tens in a situation like that, they're taking the swing, they're taking the fight. Feels a little more tender, tentative from KC, and they're getting caught out. A half clearance by Magnum.
We're gonna win this game.
And it does look like that at the moment. You see Sen are fired up. They believe that they have had the most difficult run. Many rounds as they possibly can. Karmine Corp are no slouches. Assuming that KC don't get mentally boomed here, they will still probably put up a good attack side themselves. So you can't let off the gas.
What is this cooking? Okay. Fast play, Paranoia.
But Sen don't bite. They don't go for an aggressive reaction somewhere else around the map. They're playing it slowly. So many players from Sentinels are close to these ult coming online as well. The lockdown's one away, the pit too.
Kills or orbs, grant them it. Of course, back end of the timeout, holding on to Mount. Paranoia only clearing the one side, nade as well through. There's a couple of kills collected on either side, yet it's still Sentinels out on top of that one, whether the weaponry or otherwise, but they've got the protocols, they've got the aim, sharp as anything.
The two players that were dominating the duels on Split, Tens and Zekken, just continue. Anytime you see them in a duel, obviously here it's against the Sheriff, but it just has tracked all series long. You see them taking a fight, you expect them to win it. The way they're swinging it, you know they expect to win it too.
Yeah.
It's been monstrous.
There's none of that swinging into crouch spray, uncertainty with your aim, with your own abilities. It's just decisiveness.
It's all been there.
Yeah. But they expect to be winning every single fight. And look at it swarming the last two remnants here of Karmine Corp, 5-1. And I know we've already mentioned, listen, it's an attack side of map. Everything points towards it so far. All the data, doesn't matter what changes they made on Lotus, it still points into that direction. There are still chances, as much as that feels right now like there's nothing really going for Karmine Corp. The question is just how many rounds do they really need to get online on the defensive side?
Why? We don't know that, right? Sen didn't look like they put together too much defense on the last time that we saw them play Lotus, but their players were still good enough in the game against Heretics to give them rounds every now and then, which was more than you saw on the other side. They're a very dangerous team. Even if they're getting outplayed in the macro, or even if the map doesn't lend itself to you know, one side or the other, they're still going to find those win conditions. And here, you have huge ults up for both teams. KC, eco swing round. They have to invest all of their ults to try to win this one.
He's happy to play close here because he's got the showstopper. There it is.
Beef on the movement?
Acknowledged, yeah, beef on the movement. Massive one, in fact. He sees tethered to the spot, rooted down. Won't be getting value with that. In fact, the second one to take a refight into this.
That's wild. That is wild.
The nade, unfortunate.
And I said beef on the movement, but I think Zekken threw a blast pack to disrupt that, and the Seas came through afterwards as well.
A little bit unlucky towards the end there. I think that nade was meant to be tucked into the corner.
But I mean, amazing reaction instantly from Sen to stop that from finding any value. And they've neutralized the threat again, slowed the round down, denied information for KC, and now they can go wherever they like.
9-4 through the site, that's one trigger onto it. So they're going to know that at least there's one player there. That's Thomasy! Time to shine, son. Time to step all the way up, and he certainly has done so. Still in control of Tree. Here's the pivot being called. Door broken, Horn forwards, rotations abound. Breaking it through now with the paranoia to really set that one up. Shin giving them this space. Locked down, to be committed. Close towards it with 15 seconds to spare. Is there any attempt by Carmen-Core? Do they want to be aggressive into it? Looks like they're going to give them that space, and now planning for a retake of their own.
This pit could allow, John Cudy's going to commit pit here, and this can allow them to get back into the site and help them flood.
Lockdown.
Stop the lockdown from really finding too much value.
We'll see. Even Tense as well, holding the TP as well, making sure they can get straight back into the fight. He's forwards, into the corner, barely expecting it, but it's traded almost rapidly on the approach of counter pit. Online, layers it forwards, and Carmen-Core have got the players, they've got the bodies, they just need to win, and they're going to get it. The round going their way, finally. Feels like it's been a bloody long time at that, but that second one is on the board for them. And they took a lot, don't get me wrong. A lot of ultimates had to be expended.
Yeah. SEN made it extremely expensive, and I think that's the silver lining to KC winning the round there, if you're looking at it from the perspective of Sentinels. But a lot of ults being drained on both sides. This play, though, it just wins the round.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They're hoping that Tomashi is going to be passive in this situation, is going to respect the Nightfall, worried about being pushed from one angle. No, he holds his ground, steps up when his team needs him, and puts one on the board.
We'll see more of that. Show me a bit more fire, Carmen-Core, come on. Satchels through for second. It's fast and double satchels, both being used to punish potentially. All from Tenz, he's just taken out.
Completely punished.
Bullet to the dome is all it takes, and yeah, that's the punishment of sticking that one. I suppose he thought it was clear. Door opened up, rotating now, calling. Pivot, getting a move on, out towards the C side. Now it is entirely open. Util still going to be used to clear it. There was a C's and a Nano Swarm. It's going to be completely given up, in fact.
Now the question is, what kind of post-plant aggression do we see here from SEN? I felt like on Split, their post-plant aggression was timed well. They played together. A little more sloppy for KC. Here, we see John with a bit of a timing.
Bit of a timer, but he might just miss it here. There's a Nightfall as well. Boombot forwards, Nightfall. Now the sound cue is going to be missing from a few of these players. Elsis is in a one-and-done position. Blinded, Satchels, Martin barely grappling onto that one. A Satchel forwards just in case, cuts it up. And now everybody playing from Mount. A backwards position, but smoked off. Immaculate stuff from Shin. Almost going down to the spray. Down here. Damage done, but the bullets flying through. And true for Carmen-Core. Narrate, able to stick this half. 1v2, 1v2, not sticking it out wide. And the patience played by Carmen-Core will get the job done.
That's more like it. That's what you got to see from KC when they were playing in EMEA. Coordinated on the retake. I was worried just for a moment when they lost track of where the final player was and one went to check Waterfall, the other Mound. But they got the play there. The punish onto Tenz through a Snakebite Nanoswarm to stop the rest of the team coming in, isolate Tenz, get the swing and punish. Very nice from KC, and they follow up. 2 rounds back-to-back now puts KC in a much better position. And the ults still nowhere near for Sentinels after that huge explosive round in round 7, where both teams utilized the entire war chest.
Follow from the Prowlers, just a handshake there, front section of B. No real aggressive map control other than Shin. He's holding close to Mount, refreshing the one way. He's going to be able to TP out of dodge if there is any danger.
Now you can see pings here though. They're getting ready to put pressure B and actually crush this C setup. Shin has got to be so worried about this.
That's why he's holding it, paranoia, but still, it's going to be coming from multiple angles in the end. Does have the TP forwards. What a call!
That's
Martin
confident.
Just swinging right through. Narrate follows it up, and listen, there's no one else watching for it. That was the danger there if he ended up losing that fight, but they don't. It's exactly right, Josh, what you were calling for. That confidence is back, and it's boundless right now for Carmen-Core.
Opportunism, looking to take the timings, even if they're not playing together. KC find themselves in another 5v3, very similar to round 7.
Easy as it goes, forwards, past it, Tenz. Tethered to the floor, can't see his Elsis just to watch his teammates back. He can be trusted with that at least, but will fall. Spike, dropped out in the open. 2v4, make it a 1v4. John, no chance whatsoever here. He's on the opposite side of the map. With only 20 seconds left, will be the save.
Yeah, KC finding that mid-round aggression. Sure, the previous was taken with that punish onto Tenz, but they found themselves the player advantage situations so many times in the last 3 rounds. That's one of the biggest reasons why they're able to actually win them. They're able to find a double kill that comes out from Tomashi. Then they get the punish onto TenZ. And in this round, it was such a nice audible called by Martin there and Narrate, deciding to take the swing through, using Shin almost as bait over towards C. It's pre-planned or called on the fly. Shin was completely alone on C. I mean, this team is big brain enough that they might have set that up as a bit of a fake there, like, oh, look, we're playing Mound, come and punish us. Either way, lovely setup by KC. And you were asking a question earlier, Brent, as we go into this Sentinels timeout. How many rounds does KC need on their defense side? Because
telling you, probably 100%, but
Zekken now has a judge. Does this mean we're getting into something a little more pacey?
It's got prowess. That double satchel plays can really take the space quite rapidly. This time, again, a lot of players are calm in court. Grouped up behind Mound, looking to try and fight this one eager, in fact.
That one Prowler makes them think that it's going to be the split push again.
Open the door. They're trying to get proactive just in case to punish those players.
Yeah.
Nice idea as well. Shin using his second smoke, but here we go. Follow-up fight. Now he doesn't have a smoke for the one-way here. Paranoia is excellent. They're all grouped up right towards the back TP on top.
That's amazing.
This man is terrifying.
What an angle to find.
All the way forwards, judge in hand, Shin. It's away with it. Still, reinforcements arriving. Narrate can't withstand it though, the pressure. It's too much, it's immense. This man is a thing of nightmares.
The mobility, the confidence, both working in tandem. He's on for the ace.
Give the people what they want. One left standing, the counterpart on the Omen. He knows Shin is around, he knows Shin is lurking.
Shin just tucking to spoil the clip. Ten and 4, what a demon. You saw that the counter paranoia there thrown from Shin pushed back the rest of Sentinels. Nobody else was able to get the punish in that kind of way.
Target destroyed.
But then when TenZ teleports up top, he's not been caught by it. Everybody else is blind. It is shooting fish in a barrel. And it really is terrifying what TenZ is able to do on Omen. It's fit him like a glove, this new role.
Oh yeah. That's how you know he's different from 2021. Not just the agents being played, man, but he didn't play for the clip. Didn't hunt down Shin.
Very true.
Keep the rifle going.
Now in that round there was still a little bit of danger, right? I mean, Shin got the pick onto TenZ. If Narrate had been able to punish TenZ too, Shin got the pick onto Zekken. If Narrate had been able to punish TenZ, maybe KC could have come out with something.
2 more rounds. Cacophony is building here in the Madrid arena.
A SEN fight for rubble control, something they have not been doing very much of. Zellsis quite far away. His lockdown could be a large entry piece of utility, but they could also save it for post, as Zekken now had Showstopper online too. Narrate with a swing.
See what he ended up using. What?
Now, that is going to tell Zekken there's a player that decided not to use the ult though, just taking space on site.
There's a chance of it. Everyone setting up from Karman Core side. Backwards, spots ahead, vulnerable.
You should run.
Look how nicely though they've saved all of this utility for the post plant here. Sure, the spike isn't down just yet, but they're anticipating the fact that KC are going to be playing retake because of the ults, and the threat is more dangerous than the action.
Fine time, off the clock, Zekken, here's it, footsteps. Satchel, oh, no way, Magnum! Nasty shot, nasty business. Here, TenZ will fall.
Perfect.
Magnum through the back now, and the site control gained here, close to the corner. Shin, instantaneous with the trade, sticking now. Tomashi onto it, but destroyed, spam through the smoke. 2 players caught. Surely that's the fuser now. Another tap from Magnum, but it's just him. 1v1, him versus Zellsis, sticking, have on it, all the way through the defuse. Zellsis puts him to bed.
Little bit of danger again there as KC started to get that retake working. Really lovely the follow-up on the Paranoia and Martin's entry through, but SEN stay solid. So many of these post plants are set up with 2 layers from Sentinels. A few players playing further forward to draw all of that utility, and then a few players further back playing the spam game. You know, that we see the same thing when it's planted over towards C. You have TenZ in a more advanced position on top of the box, a few players playing out towards Mount.
Yep.
It works all across their map pool, and we're straight back into things. No early fight over towards Rubble, though. KC dominate that area early on, open the door, and that is going to tell John right at the beginning that it was heavy Rubble control.
But they didn't use a nade. There was no signs of life from Martin, so they might think it's only 2. Expecting perhaps to call that pivot here on either side. So you can see it, the territory being slowly gained.
Sassy taps the orb. Once the rest of his team's got ready, that's Nightfall online.
Here it is. Through with a Nightfall, Prowlers. Reaching the targets, a few of them, but broken in time here. Now potential for the retake. Still that danger with a showstopper in the back pocket, no way!
That's just spam.
The rate finding it onto 10s. Beautiful first kill for them, and this is going bad to worse really for Sentinels here. They still can't get a safe plant down. Util flying through along with the rocket. Martin, unfortunate really not to get that one. Satchel through into the back, pushing his teammates right into forwards. Magnum is there, collapsing, colliding, spraying them all through. John QT's got so much to deal with here. No more bullets.
Unbelievable.
Right click, but everyone's there to collect it out. And so a 7-5 half. Carmen Court, a sneaking suspicion that they're going to be happy with it.
Very happy. That's an extremely solid defense side, powered by those retakes. I mean, don't let the technicality fool you. They flooded back in there using their same retake setups, and the timing for Magnum to swing around the side when the rest are putting pressure up on top, it all worked really well.
Signs of life from Carmen Court. Really excellent stuff on their retakes all around here. Still a steady lead for Sentinels, a steady lead I should say. Let's send it down.
May have done enough here to feel confident going into the second half of Lotus. Doesn't mean they're going to win. Doesn't mean they're even favored. But when you look at what's on the board, 5 rounds on defense, normally KC very good on attack. You've got to be feeling good.
Definite chances. Stay in the series. They have a chance of things here, but players are grouped up and they're meeting side by side, shoulder to shoulder. Prowler will it afford anything? Right into the face. There's a satchel. Martin, not even with a shorty, but he will go down, and Anna Swarm's tearing him to shreds.
And KC decide not to commit off the back of that. Certainly Sentinels getting surprised by how deep KC got before the trap play was punished. But there are a lot of players still here on the C site.
That noise re-hit, the danger is still here. Like I said, players anchoring into the seaside. Zekian holding into the corner. What a peek. It's a Carmen Court classic, and they've just got it. Look at themselves. Dodging and weaving out of the woodwork is what it feels like.
Really nice. All of that fundamental prowess that we saw from KC being demonstrated here. Certainly warming up into the tournament. Starting to showcase the strengths of what made them a team to be feared. This pistol round was a great call coming out from Magnum. As long as they can secure things, and John Cuties denied the miracle, they'll be feeling, again, really good about their chances.
Doesn't have the tools for it. I mean, a lot of players, we narrate, chooses to put an end to it. So, pistol round should, you know, as long as things go correctly, end up being that 7-7 equalization.
Yeah, and that's Magnum that actually gets the kill there, but there's so many little set plays that we saw from KC when they were playing in EMEA, things like that, doubling up and setting up, you know, maybe a high-low setup or a jump peek, and the second player swings in. Now we see Magnum picking up the Outlaw, actually. Nobody on SEN buying armor, of course. Not going for that force buy.
Few pieces of util.
And how many times have we seen this in the series? No real possibility for the team that lost the pistol to do anything because both teams just kind of rotate around each other. Yeah. I feel like every time a team's won the pistol, we've seen this in this series so far. Dodging that variance.
Roaming around the map like a pack of wild animals. Free sight for Carmen Court. Plan of a mound control.
Yeah, and a great plan. And now, once you get the plant down this easily, you have the mental bandwidth to start thinking about how do we optimize our ults. Right, so do we want to try to load them into narrate because he's already halfway? Do we want to try to prioritize Martin, perhaps? These kind of things you can really start to ponder. But there is still pressure here onto Tomashi.
In fact, SEN are committing utility into this. Things they really did purchase and buy. They've squeezed the players out towards mound. Time ticking away, running short. Clearance called by Carmen Court, so right through the back there, and Sentinels realise that there's really no chance of this. They're making another call now, moving their way forwards.
And I think just looking to try to die to Spike here. But Sassy is going to take a little bit of a time in.
Plays a caught out in the open. They're going to be able to die to the Spike. Yep,
Yeah.
okay.
So, really successful there, to be honest, from Sentinels. Not allowing KC to get close to any of the large ultimates. And that's very important. Lotus, I think, more than any map in the pool right now, is so ult cycle dependent. Especially when with it being attack-sided and both orbs being accessible to the attackers too. It's a mixed bag of a buy, though, for KC. They've come into this bonus with some unusual weaponry. I'm interested to see if Magnum can get anything done with this Outlaw. He's the sole player holding back the A push, and Sen have committed 4 players to dominating that fight.
Yeah. 4 players with light armor, too. Lots
Yeah, that's a
to
great
choose
point.
from.
Great point. 4 players that would die in 1 shot to Magnum.
There's that extra danger. So you can see the decision-making being used here by Carmine Core. This smoke setup as well just allows them to hide, play not quite an anti-flash position, but at least hiding from the initial haunt. There is a call from Sentinels to refight when the orb is tapped. Loading up the ult orbs onto Narrate, making sure that Nightfall gets online.
You can see the pings over towards Rubble, pointing out the 3 main positions that somebody like TenZ would be playing if they got him posted up in an aggressive spot. So they're going to go through the motions there, making sure that they clear all of these angles. There is nobody home whatsoever on A.
It's a weird one. Look at this. I mean, back and forth as the call's going for Carmine Core. Looks like there's a lot of uncertainty.
I mean, Sen are basically just playing rotate through spawn right now. They're not trying to, you know, anticipate this so much as just
30 seconds.
rotate.
No way. Don't know what gave that one away. Still, it's a kill. All Sentinels. First kill going their way.
They've anticipated this pivot.
Up. Yep, they're looking for it and expecting it. Out towards B. Smoke still up into heaven. What's the call going to be here? With only 15 seconds left, the chance really to try and fight them aggressively. Haunt broken, Boombot now, 11 seconds plan. Finally going down, but what is the fight? Yep, right through. Sees, no connection. Second! Oh! The hopes and dreams torn away in this round. Shin wrapped and caught. Cheeky flank timing.
Destroyed.
Not getting away with that.
That was a really bizarre round, though. Sen were rotating through spawn, off noise cues, off reads, and just trying to stack the correct position where KC would end. They're not worried about leaving holes because they're just trying to be hypermobile around the map. That can really bite you. If you're planning to play defense like that, sometimes if the attacking team just cuts noise, you're just running around having no idea where things are going to end. But the reads there from Sen were perfect. They got the right call on where KC were going every time.
Let's go, boys. Good job.
No damage on that bonus.
Yep. Really good job, boys.
No damage, but a healthy buy on either side. Vibes Merchant making sure everything is in order. Here we go, TP forwards, dash it across here, sees nade, everything being combined. Shin surely goes down, he gets a kill on second.
How's that happened?
How has he managed that?
He was caught dead to rights inside the C's nade.
To almost single digits, evacuation called. TenZ backs away. So listen, call up the cartographer. Power lines being redrawn, but giving up space entirely of Rubble, not even posting a player up deep onto A. Carmine Core giving it up.
Certainly very willing to rotate around the map themselves on the attack side. And Sen now a bit frozen in place, expecting this to be an A re-hit. Even when Sassy doesn't really spot anything over towards Rubble. Zelsis has all the utility here, but he is just one man.
He's caught here still with the Odin. It's a very big gun and a lot of targets to really choose and beam down. Spotted! Beaming, he does! But the molly's into the back. He had no clue about it. Snake bite. Everything being utilized on top of it. Ruins his day there, but still getting to the position he was in. Pretty miraculous. He's made it an even job for Sentinels on this retake. 4 position of Magnum. He's hoping for an easy kill, maybe even a cheap one. One-way smoke, has to force out that paranoia early, so Magnum, he's done his job. Pulling out that util early, now backs away with the rest of his team so he can play side by side, shoulder to shoulder. Sentinels versus Carmine Core, comes down to the fundamentals, comes down to the aim, the battle being won! The Sentinels in charge of it all!
A 3v3 post plant where KC, in theory, could have planted anywhere, could have positioned anywhere, and Sen still got the site so easily. Bundling up the KC post planters into a tiny corner and landing that snakebite onto them after TenZ TP'd in behind the orb. This, amazing. that Zelsis gets 2 out of that situation, but he basically just equalised part of the luck with Shin, I think, getting away with it at the start of the round.
Standing.
But it's that snake-bite combo there with Tense being able to swing on top of it. It just looks really claustrophobic from KC in the post plant. They kind of gave Sen too much space there to do whatever they wanted. But that is 2 huge rounds in a row from Sen. One to make sure that they didn't take any damage. Call me up. That's Tense, man. He's looking awesome. He really is.
Fight over C early. Again, same smoke, but it is that weaker by Carmen Core.
And you either need a really good set play to be able to push this one across the line, or you're looking to try and, you know, do damage to the economy and draw out ultimates. Certainly B is the best site to fight with these more close-range weapons, like Magnum's Stinger and Martine's Judge. They haven't cleared Martine.
Oh, way! Tense! Adjustment of a lifetime. Snappy and precise, a bit later towards the end, but I'll get the job done there. 10-7.
I mean, that was wild. Martine was just stuck in the corner with a Judge there, but he got blinded up, and I don't think he realized that people were pushing through the door on him. Yeah. He probably had a couple freebies, but yeah, great adjustment from the Phantom Tense. They completely neutralized that round. This very reminiscent, actually, of one of the earlier rounds that we saw from KC, where Martine and Naray pushed out through B, trying to find that timing. And here, Sentinels on defense, being proactive, clearing out that area in the mid-round and catching KC before they could set up.
Carmen Core aiming to win that fight out, but they don't actually have anything planned for the Horns. Potential mistake there. Lots of pings to a variety of players. Carmen Core, though, not dissuaded. Now with a Nightfall. It's going to scatter, flow forwards here. Zelsis getting tagged. Same with John QT. They're not going to know how close these players potentially are with the alarm bot being broken. Sees into the back of the site. They really don't have a clue. Zelsis spraying away and praying. Just hoping that the reinforcements arrive, but he backs himself into a deeper position, tucked to the back, still danger, vulnerable, no way in hell. Second showstopper, but there's players right behind him. They don't have a clue. Shut down, close to the corner of Shin, surviving, keeping his team alive in this round. It could go in any direction.
And the rate is still struggling to get the plant down.
Some of these fights, the way it goes, I mean, flip a coin, you have a better chance of guessing. Still up onto the ropes, that's Shin. Forwards. Do Sen expect it? Do Sen expect it? Do they expect it? They do not, John. Brought down. Angles watched. Forwards now. Sassy keen to take the fight, keen to trade it out. Through the box though. Couple of straight bullets and Sassy's dropped down. Everybody watching, and eventually the adjustments are there.
Well, that one was dangerous for Carmen Core, but they come out on top. Magnum's position in pit ended up being so important. But there were moments all throughout that round where things could have flipped in either direction. So much of it coming down to timings that they find on one another. This, for example, not even a half clear from Zekken in that corner. Too many positions to try to guess at. Great aim from Magnum there. Big readjustment. Pulls KC back within 2. And they can start here to work some of their ults and start to build a bit of an economic cushion.
Be the win con. One away, Martine builds it up. That's the rocket. Prowler, Boombot. First way for Util to dissuade it with the Nanoswarms, both of them being deaded, and Celsius putting the Odin to good work. Look at that, spraying through into the angle. Timing. Both double swinging through, but they're vulnerable up now. The nade goes flying forwards. A connection. Celsius couldn't withstand it. Now with the lockdown as well, you have to respect it. Sassy's overstaying his welcome, praying that somebody would open himself up into that sideline.
The plant for Mound this time, instead of the more claustrophobic one on site, allows KC to play 2 layers of this, and they still have Martine's showstopper to work with.
Surely they win it.
Well,
looks incredibly favoured, at least with the ults. Horns. What's the back? Sentinels are already in. Showstopper, no one to break it. Couldn't let loose with the Prowler defuse burning away. Half into it, it's a gamble. John QT, he finds it, still 4 versus 4. What other util do they really have? They've got to play it side by side. Time working against them. Paranoia 10's waiting for the timing. He flips the switch and now moves forward, but so do Carmen Core. So do Carmen Core in complete control of the front section of the site, and a decision is made for him. John QT hightailing it out of there.
Well played by KC, adapting to what TenZ was trying to go for. Sentinels, you could see, were expecting KC to have already fallen back to Mound. They thought that they had the site roughly for free as soon as Martin got picked off after using his showstopper. That was not the case. Both teams really messing with expectations. And it's Celsius, a headshot through the wall there that actually sets up the nade kill. A little unfortunate. But both of these teams are looking sharp. It's mind games on mind games in these retake post-plant situations. But Celsius once more has been left alone over towards C. And KC, like 5 hungry wolves, staring towards a snack on the C site.
Just that, I mean, vacuuming up these orbs. Granted, and given the C mound area basically every single time. There's no plan in action for Sentinels. They did manage to take rubble over towards 8, so they've got 10s posted.
And we haven't actually seen 10s in this position before. We know that KC have got protocols to clear this out. We just haven't seen the fight actually occur. Now, do they believe that 10s is not on top of rubble because they've seen Zeka?
They're not going to use a volley to clear it. One way.
They do not like what they've seen.
No.
They're happy to return back over to Magnum. He knows that there hasn't been any re-aggression on C.
See, Magnum did not give that one up already. Through forwards. Well, John QT, it's an unorthodox one, just playing closer to pillar here. Now sets down a Viper's Pit. This is a difficult one. Carmen Court, what chances do they have? What is the call to be made out forwards in front of it? Lucky to be alive. Still smokes on smokes. Who knows which direction this one's going to go into with a Nightfall now. They don't know anything. Adjusting Magnum! That is disgusting. But TenZ, he's forwards and through, eventually removing that pesky problem that is the IGL. 2 players, forwards to the right, has fallen. Shen, last alive. John QT, miraculous with the movement.
And Sen somehow get that one through, despite the fact that Magnum was able to pick off 3.
Way.
It looked great for Sen though. That opening kill from John QT to be able to get his pit online. I'm amazed, frankly, that KC even got the spike down, because there was so much pressure coming through there. Pit used, Nightfall used as well. That is excellent awareness. They've often been using Tomaji's smoke to be able to get into the C site, and John QT just reads that for the first kill. And a little whiffy towards the end from Narrate and Shin. Otherwise, Magnum had given them an opportunity. Devastation for Zeish. So 2 rounds ahead again. Maintaining the lead are Sentinels.
Yusha making the difference in so many of these moments. Acro game being called from either of these sides. It's a good one. Both the IGLs going to be working overtime to try and get that edge.
Into C again.
Celsius. Really deep off angle. There was a chance he could have been punished, but safety for now at least. But the snakebite fades. And here's the second go of things. Prowler, Satchels, up above, doesn't expect it. Stinger, exactly where it's favored. Close quarter combat. They don't have to sight just yet. They know what John QT is. John needs some help. John needs some help here. Swinging wide. Sassy will be punished for it. Casualty. Line of fire and the line of action here. It is a bit futile is what it feels like. Carmen Core only just getting ground underneath them. Plans, paranoia, that forces it out, and a satchel forward, smoke fading away. Martin! Oh, he's on one right now, on for the ace. One more. We'll do it. John QT.
Spotted.
1v3. Spotted and shut down.
That's a wild situation. I mean, Sentinels realize that Tomaji is 1 away from being able to get his pit online, so they can't just allow him to go for the plant. They're forced to go aggressive. This entry, excellent from Martin, and wasn't really expected in this spot. But yeah, they're forced to go for this level of aggression and run into Martin's Odin here because they need to deny the plant, otherwise they're going to be retaking into a pit. Unfortunately, they lose the round anyway, and now Tomaji has pit up for the next, and Sentinel's economy is getting stretched. I mean, look at this.
Yeah, so back and forth.
But I think you kind of have to favor KC's chances of being able to pull this round across the line. Now, C's fade combo, C's nade combo, very possible here.
Not using it. Horn though, again, nothing to deal with that one. Not sure what that lineup is, but
It's a different lineup actually. Sassy was throwing it previously from B, now throwing it from A. Still not getting broken.
SEN perfectly happy to follow that trail of noise. They've stacked it with a lot of their players. Prowler forwards, Martin satcheled in to clear that space and take up control of Tree. With them breaking the Prowler really does feel like an A hit, and it might still be so. Sees nade. Wrong timing taken for it. Guess what? They want to go forwards! Second! That's a snake bite that takes him down.
There's so many layers to that.
It really is. First wave of util, second with the paranoia and with the satchel. That has really put Sentinels in the driving seat.
But Magnum broke the alarm bot on B. No response from anybody there, so he's calling to narrate that B may be clear. Oh, is Tomashi going to try to fake this with a pit or something? What are KC cooking? They had a free B site to go for, and they're still going A.
Spinning in, Ten just walks forwards for the information. He's brought down 3 versus 3 still. 2 players at the back of the site. What is it called? Double face! And sprayed through and down. Equal parts on either side here. 1 left standing, it's Narrate. And a 1v3 to avoid his team being put on map point, on series point.
He's worried about Zelsis, but Zelsis is still tethered to his turret. 15 seconds less, 10. Just no chance, surely.
Anything taps it, hoping that a few of these players will be out wide and open!
Unbelievable!
This time!
Unbelievable!
Endless seconds available!
Zelsis is miles away. The Nightfall going to confirm that he's not playing towards Rubble.
Narrate, 9 bullets! Ridiculous!
That is one of the most important clutches that we've seen in the tournament so far. Narrate somehow saving his team. How does he line this one up? Unreal.
Get out of here. I mean, what was that? 0.3 on the timer or what? I don't even know.
Everything stacked against him.
No way. I mean, barely containing it. It's just like, okay, I'll be the stoic one.
Somehow, Eng expects that, apparently.
Yeah, not shocked.
None of us did.
God damn.
Magnum is buying an outlaw here to get his team up to map point, knowing that Sentinels are on an eco.
What's the save?
And the ults are all in favor of KC, really. There are still ults over on the side of Sen too. Do they choose to use them?
They're hard stacking. There's 5 players. I don't know what gives this read away. It just seems to be a gamble. Zelsis forwards.
Tens is set up for a paranoia. Are they going to try to clear this?
Yes, they're going to be trying to fight this one. Paranoia, forwards, haunt, broken, tags it in the smoke, forward, Sancho's backwards, a boundless second, he let the rocket loose, and Sentinels, no way! From the jaws of defeat, they're trying to take it back. Magnum has taken so much damage in the mix of things, 3 HP, Spike, retrieved, backing away, not quite, it's dropped down, and Sentinels, out of nowhere! You're joking!
That is utterly ridiculous. The 5-player gamble stack just at the perfect time. And not just that, but finding the play of the Haunt being broken. I mean, look at the way that Martin is playing that. They find the exact moment that KC were about to commit. All of them with utility in their hands, ready to exec. And Sen, the aggression pays off big time. They could not have found a bigger moment to slam the pressure back into KC. We're into this, the final round of regulation. It's already here. Shambolic buy for KC.
It's bottom of the barrel. It's all they're working with. It's desperation. Individuals need to step up to even stand a chance of staying in this series.
Emotional roller coaster doesn't even begin for the players there on stage. You go from elation to devastation.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
Backing away from Tens there. Prowler connected. Gives them that space freely. Carmen Cordo, Spike in a different direction. Now Shin does have his ult. There's a chance he can pivot.
Martin has the showstopper, but he took 124 at the beginning of the round. He took a long-range phantom headshot.
Fake. Lockdown being used here to just try and make it feel like this. I mean, it's a good call. Sentinels have been playing super reactive off the time cues, but the lockdown's broken just from the minor amount of util. Now the showstopper. Forwards Martin. He'll go down to the turret. He'll go down to the turret. He has to send him flying. Poor Timmy. Lockdown. Drop down. 30 seconds. Spike can't be planted. That's desperation. It's frantic in nature, but eventually going to be sticking it. Shin backing away. Pit will stay up, and this retake is happening at a blistering pace. Forwards. Zelsis dominating the angles. One tap to force out the util, but this could be it. All on the line for Carmen Core. And the calls are being made here, fighting up close, fighting forwards. All tucked away, Zelsis! The hopes and dreams ripped to pieces. Shin, desperate for it, tends forwards. And it can't come down to anything. Thomas Z, no chance. Sentinels have done it. The #1 seed taken out. Sen City here to play.